always talking about struggling this and struggling that. I was 10 months old, wasn't able to walk. I had to crawl in where I wanted to go. I was 10 months old, wasn't able to tell my mom what I wanted to eat. I had to use my ass and use my hands and grind that shit myself. So whenever you think you can't do nothing, you gotta...
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of the Ant Money Experience with your guy, Ant Money, the real president. How y'all doing this week? I ain't gonna hold y'all. It's been like a little dry week, but I was like, I'm not stopping. I'm going to deliver the great episode that y'all expect from me. Y'all know this is the unofficial start of the weekend. Hope everybody's week was going great. Hope everybody has a better weekend. This is a 3-day weekend. If you get them government holidays off, you know, Sunday is an extra Saturday. Hope everybody finds something good to do. It's supposed to be some more snow. I'm over it. Don't snow on my days off. Please, please. I ask you, dear Heavenly Father, please make them days during the week so I can get that day off. But hope everybody's week's been going good. My week, it started off kind of bad. It was a little down. My cousin, rest in peace, Dwight, his funeral was last Saturday. So I came into the week a little job been pissing me off, but I am trying to reiterate something that I did years ago where I don't let one problem or issue spill over into another one. So for instance, if I have an issue with my child and / her mother, I don't let that spill over into my work or personal relationships. I try to deal with everything try to take it one day at a time. But you know, came into the work week, made them remember who I am, and had a good week overall. But if you are here right now, you are watching on the big exclusive network, the greatest network in the world. If you have a podcast idea that you would like curated, or your podcast needs a home, you want your podcast projected on another platform, come on over to the Winning Team. Also, if you are here, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Set a reminder so you don't gotta figure out or forget when the Ant Money Experience is coming on. You will get that reminder. Like my guy Stokes did. If you are watching, make sure you comment so I can shout you out. Happy birthday to my good brother, King Shit. You know how we do. That is forever our saying. Happy birthday to my guy. Thank you for tuning in this evening. If you would like to be a co-host on the Ant Money Experience, make sure you DM me, inbox me. Ladies, you know how to get to the front. Also, if you would like to be on my spotlight portion of the show, you got an idea, a product, you got your mixtape. If your mixtape is trash, I might act like I don't see it. But if you would like to be a part of my spotlight portion of the show, make sure you DM me, inbox me. Let's go. But before we go any further, a message from our sponsors. Also, a heavenly birthday shout out to the great Martin Luther King. I saw a banner yesterday that said he would have been 96. We lost that king way too early, but definitely make sure you do something in his memory on Monday, although his actual birthday was yesterday. Also, heavenly shout out to Aaliyah, who would have been heavenly birthday shout out to Aaliyah, who would have been 46. That young lady also died at 21. Make sure you are enjoying life because you just never know. Both of those people were in good health when they passed away. So make sure you enjoy every day like it should last. But it's time to jump into that. If it bleeds, it leads, good people. Now, You know what? Play this first video, producer.
Yeah, I'm on TikTok. I'll follow you on Facebook.
I like her energy.
Yeah, I'll follow you on Facebook.
What's your name?
Sorry.
I'm about to give you some.
What I
You had good energy.
need? But I need too.
It's a New Year.
I knew it. That's
Open
the
that
name.
up.
I follow. And he was by Wawa. He was on Wawa.
Bless me with some Louis Vuitton stuff.
Better open it, guys. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
So that's some money for you. Look. A lot of people get these from the gas station. You got a Louis Vuitton one. God bless, all right?
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Thank you. We all gonna take care.
Now, there's a couple different things I feel about this video. I'm a little conflicted. For one, shout out to that young lady. I don't think there's anything wrong with seeing a celebrity out and just shouting a euro or a hey, what's up? And I'm not familiar with that individual, but shout out for him for acknowledging her, making her day. Gave the young lady a Louis V wallet as well as cash, and the mom took it. Now I'm conflicted because that young lady looked all of maybe 12. So it's like, what would she really do with that money? But also, Mom, Dukes, you look bad. I'm not snatching bread from my daughter. If that's hers, now if I feel like she's not capable of handling it properly, I might hold it for her, but I'm not gonna snatch it like that. I'm gonna wait till the cameras go off. Look, I'm gonna hold this for you, baby girl. If you want some things, tell me what you want, and we'll spend the money as we go. Because I know that money gonna be burning a hole in your pocket, much like myself. But for that mother snatching that money like that, that is a crumb bum.
You're a crumb creep. I want to fight you. You don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum.
Mom Dukes was dirty for that. And I'm gonna talk about it in the sports portion, but the other young lady had on a Cleveland Buckeyes jersey. No disrespect to my good brother Stokes, but I am not a Buckeyes fan. But we'll get into that a little later. But producer, with that being said, my next video, please.
I can't get out the car. Has this been hacked? What's going on? I feel like I'm in the movies. I'm in a Waymo
Connected
car.
to rider support. This call may be recorded for quality assurance.
This car is just going in circles.
Hi there, Mike. This is Gab. I'm calling from Waymo Support. I'm just calling because I received a notification that your car might be experiencing some routing issue. Please bear with me while I am...
Yeah, I got a flight to catch. Why is this thing going in a circle? I'm getting dizzy. Look at what it's doing.
I understand. I'm really sorry, Mike. We're currently working with the situation of the vehicle. Is it circling around a parking lot, right?
It's circling around a parking lot.
If you have your app pulled up, I need you to tap my...
Now, and this is wow. How y'all feel about that? This is going to be the way. This is why I would never get one of those cars. What if it go crazy and crash out? You know, there was an incident in California where they were testing these, and one of the cars actually crashed into somebody. Yeah, how you doing? How you doing it? I'm doing good. I agree about the mom. Yeah, she was wilding for that. But these cars that drive themselves are going to be the wave of the future. Personally, I'd rather my Uber have a driver that's controlling the car. I'm not really feeling it, but that individual said that he was going in circles. I think he said it did like 5 laps, and then somebody computered in and said like, hey, I see that your car is having a software issue. I don't trust these cars. I mean, every car got their little drift mode. I forget what they call it when the car kind of steers itself, but it doesn't turn. That car driving itself completely like that, going off the GPS, I don't trust that shit at all. I mean, it's man-made. Software, anything man-made is going to have an issue. That shit was wild to me. But how y'all feel about that? Would y'all use one of these car services where the car drives itself? Because personally, I'm not with that shit. Imagine that happening when you like too drunk to drive and you in a car and it's going in circles. You asking me to throw up in here, cuz I ain't with it personally. But you know, to each his own. My man needed to get to the airport in a certain amount of time, and that's what was available, and that's what he took. I side on my air fryer. Yo, them air fryers, I ain't gonna lie, I air fry everything because I can't cook. But I mean, we gonna see the repercussions of that in another 10 or 20 as well. With that being said, producer, my next video, please.
Hi, how are you? Good. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Call 911.
This, ladies and gentlemen, was a wild ass incident. I actually saw it last week, and I came across the video again last night where this young man pulled up to a Starbucks, and the driver went outside. He didn't have any underwear or any undergarments at all. And the young lady called him out. He pulled off, and unfortunately, the young man later ended up taking his life. How y'all feel about that? Was she wrong for recording and posting it? I mean, we live in a generation where everything is being recorded. I don't necessarily feel like she was wrong for recording it and putting them out there because, dog, what you on? But also, make sure you checking on your folks. Mental illness is real. Mental illness is real. They got bikinis. He brought the bikinis. Left my laugh off, but he wrong as fuck for that. And I say I record everything. I say no, I record everything. I'm just not really big on recording stuff. I don't necessarily think she was wrong for this particular incident, but his mother went online and was calling this young lady out because she said that this incident led to him, unfortunately, taking his own life. But dog, you was wilding for that. And I mean, mental illness is real. I don't know what he was going through that made him do that, but riding around with your slammer out is some wild shit. I mean, I've seen some wild shit in my lifetime. That definitely looked like he was on some water type of incident, but rest in peace to that young man. I don't either. Oils have been, bring that comment up, producer. I don't either. Oils have been somebody's kids getting out. Yeah. If my kid happened to witness that, I would be mad as shit. Not fights for everything, especially if you are black. Yeah, you can get a conviction without, and it's hard with that sometimes too. Yeah, I definitely not recording a fight. I've actually never recorded a fight. I'm lying. I recorded an incident. It was a drunken fight. It was hilarious. Never posted it. Left it for me and my friends to laugh at, but I'm just not big on recording stuff. But I definitely could see having to record stuff being black because some incidents, their recording might save your ass. But with that being said, I'm gonna make it a little bit more lighthearted. Those dipped into a more serious note, but this next one is lighthearted, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Producer, play my next video, please.
I sit in this fucking hotel for fucking 3 hours. Y'all, my husband's location is here, and I'm fucking shaking. I am fucking shaking right now. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? What are you doing here?
I'm applying for a job.
What are you doing here?
Yo, stop. Stop.
What are you doing?
When I tell y'all, I laughed so hard. I watched that video 3 times straight. Homie. So, as you heard, the young lady said that she asked her husband location, and she found that he was at a hotel for hours. She pulled up, she sat there for a couple hours, and then she went in. For one, how y'all feel about that? City Boys is definitely up. How y'all feel about that? Do y'all share locations with your partner? It's going to sound real odd to say, but I probably share my location with my friends before my partner. I mean, I don't have trust issues, but that's wild as shit. Shout out to the homeboy at the front desk, because he definitely held it down without actually knowing to do. He actually happened to be sitting in a perfect spot for when his lady pulled up on him. Yeah, I'm definitely not sharing locations. That's a negative. My last girlfriend wanted me to share locations, and I was like, I don't think that's necessary. You say you want to be somewhere, I trust you to be there. If I tell you I'm gonna be somewhere, I trust you to be there. I mean, you should trust me to be there. Now, actually, without knowing my location, she actually pulled up on me one day, and it was a funny incident. I wish I could show the video, but I'm not, because me and that party are not in contact. But yeah, have y'all ever been caught cheating? I can tell y'all, me personally, I've done it. I'm not proud of it, but I've never been caught cheating. I did mine smart. But getting caught at the hotel is wild as fuck. I hope it was worth it. And thank God she didn't pull up on the shorty. I would want to follow up to that, like they used to do on like Jerry Springer and talk shows like that. Like, what happened afterwards? Did they stay together? Did they break up? He probably did shit like this a lot. Real kings don't get caught. But let's talk sports for a minute. Pray for the 76ers because we look like shit. We went to OT with the Knicks last night. It was a good game, but the Knicks showed up in the OT and showed us who they was. We got the national championship on Monday for college football. We got the Ohio Buckeyes versus Notre Dame. This should be an interesting one. We got our first national championship with a black coach. And I mean, it should be a good match. It should be a good match. I don't like the Buckeyes. Not completely fond of Notre Dame, but it should be a good game. Not feeling that at all. That's partially because of my love for the Buckeye, for the Wolverines. But also we got some good NFL playoff games this week. We got the Rams versus the Vikings. That should, I mean, the I fucked that one up completely because the Rams are not playing the Vikings. They playing the Eagles. But we got the Chiefs versus the Texans. We got the Commanders. We got the Commanders versus the Lions. The Chiefs versus the Texans. I'm missing one. But fuck it. Oh, we got Detroit versus the Commanders. What's the other game? Eagles versus the Rams on Sunday. Definitely used to get it in Ohio. But we got the Eagles versus the Rams. I don't see that being a good game, but whatever. Producer, put up my next slide, please. If you missed it, AJ Brown, wide receiver for the Eagles, was on the sidelines reading a book. That book has since became #1 on Amazon's book list. I thought it was funny that he was on the sideline reading. I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with it because if you're on offense, you don't need to really watch the defense play. You just need to be ready when it's your time to give him a field. But I saw this actually on his page. I guess this is what he was reading. And he talked about it in an interview. He was like, look, this book is something that I go by. I was having a bad game. I was reading it. The quote reads as every performance, presentation, or problem you face is an opportunity to learn and grow and vividly experience each moment. You will find as you take this journey with me that your best moments always from a clear mind and unburdened heart. This allows you to take the risk necessary to be everything you were created to be. You could take that down. I thought that was a dope ass quote. If that's what he was reading while he was on the sidelines, shout out to that. But y'all know how I like to end every if it bleeds, it leads. Producer, play my funny video of the week.
Hey bro, what made you do this, bro? What made you do this? Why you on the highway? This the highway.
I forgot the way actually. I lost.
Where you going? Where at? Where you going?
I wanna go near Drexel.
Drexel, that's that way.
Oh, sorry.
Wrong way. You gotta go that way. The next exit that way.
Oh, where is the exit?
Drexel, it's that way.
Where can I exit this highway?
There is always 3 places that I am every week assured to find this isn't a real place. New York City, Philly, and Atlanta. When I tell y'all, I died when I seen that video of homeboy riding one of them scooters on the E-way. And then he had a nerve to be driving the wrong direction. As soon as I saw the video, I was like, oh, he on 76. First of all, 76 in a car is dangerous. He was playing with his life. But for him to be going the wrong direction, and as soon as he said, I'm going to Drexel, I'm like, dog, you're going the wrong direction. It is once again proof that Philly is not a real place. And with that being said, that's going to end If It Bleeds, It Leads for this week. Man, we're going to jump into that lounge talk. Got an interesting lounge talk for y'all. I definitely wanted to jump into that Jimmy Jones and Cameron Giles beef. But before we do that, producer, play my first video, please.
You bring a bottle and they don't drink it at the function. Is it okay to take your bottle home?
Hell no. Everybody who do that should burn in hell.
Now, how y'all feel about that? Me personally, whoa. So that's the man who was driving in the wrong direction on the highway. Yeah, and I wasn't driving slow. I lived a wild life. But how do y'all feel about that? You go to a function and you bring a bottle. For instance, I drink tequila. If I show up to Big Exclusive House with tequila, I know he's not drinking it. He's more of a vodka type of person. I don't think I've ever seen him drink brown, but I know if I bring that tequila to his house, he's not going to touch it. Most of the people there are not going to touch it. Am I wrong for taking that bottle? Am I wrong for taking that bottle home?
First of all, it's mad disrespectful to even bring tequila to my house, right? You know that's personal, so you damn right you could take that dirt home with you. Okay, that's number one. Number two, that's still I live by this rule, man. If you not gonna leave it at the place that's hosting, don't bring it. Like if you love tequila, keep that in your car, man. Keep it in the tuck. Have you a flask or something like that. But bring something that you don't mind leaving with the host. Because at the end of the day, the way I see it, the host provided everything else. You know what I mean? And they just ask you simply, bring your own bottle just in case there's something there that you don't, care for. Me, more than likely, I try to cover all bases. I at least got a rum, a tequila, a vodka, a brandy, a whiskey, a cognac, and plenty of wine. So again, even with tequila though, I'm begging somebody to take that shit with them home when they leave because no tequila in my house. I haven't had a tequila that tasted good yet.
Wow. I think you need to live a little. But I think it depends on one, what type of event, and two, how everything is looking. What you bring to the lounge stays and gets drunk at the lounge within the first hour. That's the fucking truth. What up, Brian? But no, I think that if I bring a bottle to an event and let's say it's just we just chilling type of joint, come through, bring a bottle, we all drinking. If I see that my bottle isn't getting drunk at that event, when I leave, I'm taking the bottle with me. Now, if it's an event and people are actually drinking it, I'm gonna leave it. I don't have a problem with leaving it. I mean, when I bring a bottle to an event, I expect for it to be drink anyway. But if I bring a bottle to an event and it's not getting drink, I'm taking it with me.
Yeah, you ignorant. But hold on, it's another. Don't be this person, right? See, Ryan got class. You see him. I always lead a bottle. You know what I mean? But listen, don't be this nigga. Show up with nothing. And then at the end of the night, trying to take bottles home with you.
Yeah.
I've seen that nigga live and in person. That's a bad look, man. That's a bad look. Don't be that guy.
I feel like I'm definitely not leaving with a bottle unless it's like I've been at events, like for instance, my cousin had a birthday party and one of my friends had catered it for her. So at the end of the night, she had all these bottles and she was like, yo, I'm not leaving with these bottles. Take it. With whatever you want to hear, take it.
Yeah, but that's the host. That's
right.
The host giving you permission, right?
Right. But to take a bottle, I tell you the craziest shit. One of my neighbors, actually, we had a Friendsgiving and everybody was drinking. First of all, white people drink way differently than black people. Because when I showed up, the only thing that was there was beers, wine, and first of all, I'd never seen this. They had Prosecco in a can. I was like, yo, that's some wild shit. So I bought a bottle of tequila. So they was like, oh shit, all right. So people was taking, I'm gonna say 2 people took shots, and one of the neighbors' boyfriend, first of all, you wasn't even invited. You came as an associate, a neighbor that was invited. And this motherfucker stole my bottle. I went to take a shot. I'm like, yo, the bottle going. They was like, you always playing. I'm like, no, that bottle was gone. So we started calling around, yo, where the bottle at? Because we still here drinking. It's only 8 o'clock. They was like, oh no, bull took your bottle. So one of my neighbors ran over, banged on the door, walked in, took the bottle, came back, party kept going. But I thought, you know what? I forgot what his name is, but he's a crumb bum.
He definitely a certified crumb bum.
You're a crumb creep. I want to fight you. But you don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum.
Nick, what up, though? Been a minute since you came through. Appreciate you coming through tonight, but producer, my moment of the week. Drop that next video.
You begged us. You are a fan. A fan. We didn't grow up with you. I am from 140th and Lenox. I am from NFL. Up the block was 40 Wolves. Lou Simpsons, I'm on 142nd Cross Square. D. Ferg on number 8th Avenue. I don't see you around none of this. Shout out to my, what's the Final 4 billion number you started? You're not from none of that. So you can sit around and act like you've been around all this Harlem and everything. You ever see somebody from Harlem try to act like they from Harlem so bad that you got to keep saying, I'm from Harlem? From Harlem, know who's from Harlem. You don't have to keep saying you from Harlem. So that's first and foremost. All this, yo, is on your account. You were fanned out and you begged.
Now, this situation is multi-layered. I got my own opinions, but before I get into my opinion, I want to know what y'all got to say about that. And if y'all think I came here to play with y'all, god damn it, I'm not. Oh, remixed it. Y'all wasn't ready for this look. But yeah, I'm straight now. But no, that is a wild situation. Cameron and Jim Jones, I think they're a little too old for that. Yeah, let's go with the no, let's do the left side. Yeah, that's the neighborhood side. But I think Cam and Jim Jones are one too old to do that. Why the fuck? All right, Ron, actually, I will explain the situation. The situation started because Cam interviewed 50 Cent about 2 weeks ago. So when he did the interview, 50 Cent said, you know, when I was beefing with y'all, I thought, how can I get to Cam? Because Cam is the person I got beef with. He said, I had got a hunch that there was something wrong with their relationship where they wasn't talking. So he said, I invited Jim Jones and Jewels to my concert. They came out on the stage. We did a concert. So it showed that I'm cool with them, but I'm beefing with Cameron. I got his mans up here. So Cameron didn't say anything bad. He was just like, yo, he's diabolical. How would you know that we had an issue and then you brought my mans on the stage? He was like, no, we've been friends since like young boys, so it's never going to be a beef between us. We might be irritated, but it's never going to be a beef. But the fact that you knew that we had an issue and brought him on the stage is wild. So the next week, Jim Jones does an interview, and I forget the individual that was interviewing him. He was like, basically, how did you feel when you saw that? And Jim Jones' response was, man, get off my dick. Not what I would say to one of my homies, but when 50 Cent seen the footage, to keep it real, there's no way I would have agreed to do that show. My loyalty hit different. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't agree to do that show. You and my man's got an issue right now. I don't care if I don't particularly care for him at this point. I'm not going to be on a side with one of his enemies just because we having a disagreement. I think that was foul for him to do as well. But 50 Cent responded, and he was like, yo, he put the video up and he was like, man, you know Cameron on vacation right now, but he ain't going to let this slide. When he get off vacation, you know he want to address this. Cameron came back to his show on Monday and he addressed this situation. He actually went on like a long rant, and he talked bad about Jim Jones, but it wasn't anything particularly foul. It was like maybe 4 or 5 clips that I could have played, but I was like, just a short synopsis of how he was talking about Jim Jones was what you saw in the video. Now, the first thing is I think that they are too old to, the whole thing was definitely foul. The first thing is I think they're too old to bring their issues to the internet. 2, Jim Jones inviting somebody to your penis is wild. What up, Scooty? Also, producer, drop the link one more time because this is the part that I want to talk about. When you look at that video, when you have an issue with a friend, whether it's an issue that's going to end your friendship or the issue is just a temporary fight, how do you handle issues with your friends? To be honest, doesn't matter. They both want clicks. They both trying to sell us something. Yeah, I get it. Jim was wrong for sure. For sure. But how do you handle issues with your friends? Do you take it to the internet? Because I know some people that's actually their first move. Do you go on and address them personally? Or actually, I'll be honest, my latest approach is to not say something at all. Wow. We can talk it out. We can never talk again, but you're not going to play in my face. You know, honestly, the only time I've had an issue that spilled over to the internet was somebody didn't know that me and this individual had an issue. And the way I addressed it, I had heard something, and I feel like with friends, we can have issues. Is one thing that I won't deal with is I won't tolerate a friend not being loyal. If I have to question your loyalty, I'm not fucking with you. Now, in this incident, the individual, I felt he wasn't it get taken online. We done anyway. Yeah, because you're looking for public event. Yeah, when it's done publicly, you have to apologize publicly. I definitely agree because I feel like anytime you disrespect it, you have to make the apology just as big as the disrespect. But I just felt like in the situation that me and this individual had, I wasn't talking to you. I just stopped talking to you. I didn't say nothing bad. I ignored your phone call. I didn't want to talk to you because I felt like there was really nothing you could say to me that would justify the situation. And even now on this platform, I'm not going to address what exactly the situation was. But this individual that knew nothing about the situation had made a post and tagged both of us. And she was playing around. She said, this is one of y'all. So he went on a post and said, don't ever tag me with that bitch ass nigga again. And I was like, damn, if the problem was that deep, you could address this by hitting me up, hit my phone up. We could talk about it, but why would you go online and say that to let it be known that we have an issue? Oh, you want to be seen. Now, I could have been a bitch ass nigga and went and aired him out, or there was a rumor that was going around about this individual at the time. I could have aired that rumor out and laughed and joked about it, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just let you be. Now, how do you feel about that, Big Exclusive? You there? Hello?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a couple quick points.
Yeah.
Number one, friends go through things, right? And
sure.
I think in that realm or in the context of this conversation, I don't understand how humiliating your friend is the correct course of action, right? If we're supposed to be friends, like, you know, all Jim said was, yo, get off my dick, basically. Like, why y'all even talking about me? Why y'all bringing me up? Now, personally, I think Jim got a point, because the whole reason Jim had a problem with 50 from the get-go was because of Cam. Cam flew off the rails on 50 and started that whole beat. Jim Jones took up for him. When Mace was shitting on Cam, Jim was right there. When Cam had issues with Mano, Cam had issues with True Life. That's where a lot of Jim problems came from, trying to take care of Cam and then inherently Mace. So at the end of the day, a lot of his issues come from him trying to be a loyal friend. But then the CU side, now again, we grown. Beefs are supposed to be squashed. We ain't supposed to be beefing for 20, 30 years. You see what I'm saying?
No,
so I can understand Cam talking to 50, but why not have a conversation with Jim like, yo, we grown now. That shit is 20 years ago. We on this wave now. We trying to get this podcast money, right? So we offer that now. This is going to bring us a lot of views. We're going to get some bread. Everybody, even our friends, hopefully understand making good business decisions. That was a business decision for Cam. Out of respect, you should have shot me a holler like, yo, I'm bringing Main Man on. That situation might come up. It's about nothing. Don't take it personally. But I guess because Cam and Jim not on good terms,
right?
Cam bought 50 anyway, and then you humiliating once, right? All Jim said was, man, I protected them niggas, man. I was there. You know what I mean? When Mace was shitting on Cam, I was there. When he had issues with so I was there. Get off my dick. Why y'all even bringing me up? I'm over here minding my business. I ain't fired no shots off. But then for Cam to come on and try to belittle Jim's involvement in the whole Dipset shit, belittle Jim's involvement in that come up in Harlem, that's just again, when Jim branched off and went platinum, that was of the Dipset branch. That was of the Dipset tree. That was a Dipset root. They all benefited from that. Hence, you get the verses. Hence, you want people saying the tour and all that, because now it's not just Cam with the hits.
Right.
It's Jim now with the hits. Jewel's had a couple joints. So everybody get to eat on tour. But for Cam to go so hard, and I don't think he went as hard as he could. I think he did show some restraint. Yeah, I'm sure when you've been homies that long, you know what I mean? You know way more. But at the end of the day, I still think he went too far when talking about somebody who's supposed to be your homie. Like at the end of the day, I think that was too much.
Hold on. Bring up Nikki's comment. No, actually, they were friends. I mean, I have no doubt that they are friends. And even in both of their slander back and forth, they have both. Who we got on the can? Oh, what up, Scooty?
Scooty taking the shit.
It did kind of look that way. But they were friends, and I mean, it's well documented. I actually that fan hate to see it, but I think this could have been handled differently. What about you, Scooty? When you fall out with a friend, well, I mean, we had a disagreement once back in the Army days, and you came right up to my door and said, I didn't fucking appreciate that. He said, wait, he definitely pulled up on me like Birdman. No problem. Them problems came from Jim, not Cam. I think Jim issue is that he been missing me and Cam in business side of it. Yeah, I think Cam is a little jealous about some of the business things that that are going on, I think he feels entitled to be like a part of the show. Because I mean, we came up together, but I will say this: Scooty definitely came up and knocked on my door, and she came up like Birdman. You know, I could have wrote something about you, but I didn't think that was gangster. Stop playing with my fucking name. I was like, oh, okay. I apologize.
All three of y'all.
And we just
Jim Jones definitely putting out some music though. He definitely promoting the shit out of his music.
Yeah, and I just think that Jim is a little upset with the fact that Cam and Mace is back together at the autumn years of us like shitting on Mace, but also Jim and Cam are like teenage friends. Like they became friends as teenagers. Cam and Mace literally knew each other since like very young. Like I mean the younger than the amount of fingers that you had. So I think he just feels some type of way about it. But I would much rather you say that or not say nothing at all. Both of y'all. Because I mean, also, I don't necessarily feel like Cam said anything wrong in that interview with 50. 50 said how he strategically did that, but Scooty.
No, I don't think he said nothing wrong in the interview at all. At all. Like I thought that was so for me, I like shit like that to get the history behind certain things that happened, especially during the era I grew up in. When you seen stuff, I'm not gonna date myself, but yeah, I will. So a lot of times we had to wait for like the Source magazine or Don Diva magazine to like get the dirt. Like with the internet now, you can get stuff, you can get the behind the scenes or story. Like everybody ready to tell a story on the internet now. So that's the part I like because, you know, a lot of those stories we would just hear rumors about and we would just kind of try to fill in the pieces. Yeah, we would try to fill in the pieces and stuff. So to have shows like Drink Champs and Cam and them, even Elliot Wilson got something coming, but to have them guys come on and tell those stories and knowing I lived those days and I heard some of those rumors, to actually hear the truth behind some of these stories, I just think it's super dope. Even the bullshit.
So, Scooty, are you familiar with the situation?
Very briefly, not enough to really have an opinion on this specific situation.
Okay.
Just more of like a general idea of friendship and how I work with things.
So how do you feel about like when you have disagreements with friends? Because I personally know how you deal with some things, but I won't tell anything that's not public knowledge. How do you deal with disagreements with friends?
First of all, prove it in a court of law. That's number one. Number two, I mean, it depends on the situation. It's situational for me, right? Because I'm a pretty open person when it comes to stuff, and most people within my circle know how I am with stuff. So if I'm saying, hey, don't trigger me to make me feel like to make me feel betrayed by things, because then I'm handle it differently than, oh, we had a little find out because we just wasn't in the mood to talk to each other today. Because I can either, we can either have an adult conversation about something, we can cuss each other out, or you get the fuck out of my life and never come back. And I'm good for a good cutoff, because why am I repeating myself to adults about how to treat me?
Yeah,
not doing that. Now we have like a little disagreement or something. That's one thing. We can talk it out. We internet shit. Not doing none of that.
Now let's say, because I feel like, although this may have started as a little disagreement on Jim Jones' side, I think Jim Jones escalated it, and now Cam was like, "Oh, I'm gonna handle it the way I want to handle it." Now, how do you handle big disagreements with friends?
We can go our separate ways, because obviously there's some love there. If we can talk it out or whatever, it's one thing. But once you start doing stuff publicly, you start doing weird shit or whatever because you upset about some shit or whatever, not dealing with it. We can stop talking in January, not talk to each other again until December, and then be like, "Hey man, I was tripping. Yeah, bitch, me too." We can move past something like that. But if within that time, it's getting back to me that you out here on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on everything else, You and all those circle groups talking shit about me, telling my business, different things like that. And I come back from that. It's not, I get this point, you're a snake in my eyes.
Yeah,
we ain't gotta talk. But at the end of the day, either it's fuck me or it's not.
Yeah, and I think like my initial reaction, like because I'm still confrontational, but I think that when I have an issue with a friend, I handle it a little bit differently than I would handle it with somebody like a close friend. My initial reaction is to ignore you until I'm over it. And once I'm over it, either we could talk about it, or if it's that deep, I don't want to talk about it. For instance, I had two issues, maybe in like the last 6 months with a friend. And the first time, I was actually dead ass wrong. And at first, I didn't want to talk because things had escalated. And then, I mean, that was short-lived. I came back and apologized to this person. And the second incident, I felt like that person was wrong. And my initial reaction was the same. I ignored said person. And then when I was ready to talk, we talked about it. I said, you know, I love you. I'm like, maybe I should have reached out and talked a little sooner, but I wasn't in the mood to talk to you. Right. Said person understood, and we just kept it moving. But the first individual I was talking about, I don't care to talk to that individual at all, because when I have a loyalty issue, that's when it's like,
yeah,
a slight disagreement or you had a lapse in judgment, that's one thing. But when I gotta question your loyalty, that's when it's like,
yeah, loyalty, like my safety around you, who you really are. Like, do I really know you for real? Because I think if I feel you're out of character, and I don't mean like out of character, like, oh man, see, they got drunk, they got messed up. Oh man, they got angry and start cussing niggas out or whatever. Like, if you're out of character, and I'm just like, I thought you was loyal. I thought you was like a different type of person for real, but in reality, you're not. That's where I got to be like, hey, I can't be around this no more because I'm not dealing with none of that. I'm busy.
Then also, I'll say with the incident with the first said individual, it was loyalty and a lie on top of each other, because we were having like a conversation a week prior about something, and he acted like he just didn't know what I was like, didn't know any of the parties involved. And then I'm talking to somebody else about it, and I just had to, I was just talking to so-and-so about it before you called me. And I was talking about this incident, and the individual I was talking to was like, wait, you talking to him about that? I was like, yeah, what's the issue? She was like, you know, he knows that other individual, right? And I was like, he sat there and acted like he didn't know anything at all. She said, no, he actually knows that individual very well, and broke down how they know each other. And I was like, oh, so you played in my face.
Play in my face.
Because when I brought the incident up, if you slightly knew that person as my friend, you should have been like, oh, yo, I know such and such. Like, if you bring me an incident about an individual, I'm gonna say, oh, I know such and such. I know him from here, or you know, we tee on Facebook together. I steal his memes sometimes, but I'm gonna tell you how I know the person. So for you to act like you didn't know that person, and then for me to find out how close you were to that person, I was like, oh, I can't trust you.
Yeah, that's weird. Because why are you? Because if you let me say this about this individual, regardless of what it is, any type of conversation, you let me say this about this person in front of you. What are you doing about me to other people?
Yeah, and I was like, if I gotta, and it wasn't even like a really big deal, but I was like, if this is how you acted over this, I don't want to see how you would act over something else. And I mean, it had been a situation where other people have been saying like, I don't really think he is as cool with you as you think he is.
Yeah.
You might want to separate yourself, but it took for this incident for me to see it and be like, oh.
See, and I don't understand that kind of stuff, because once I start hearing too many people say that kind of, like, say something like that, like, hey, no, that's my girl. Is it? Yeah. Now I'm feeling weird, because why is everybody saying this?
She for the streets.
Everybody ain't hating. Everybody ain't being weird. Everybody ain't just trying to pick on you. There's some truth behind what people are saying about this. Now, whether or not it's as big as they might think it is, or whether or not it's something I care about, like, oh, well, you know, you know, she be out here sleeping with people's husbands. Fair, true. Is that a deal breaker for me all the time? No. for different reasons. But for other people, that might be a super big deal breaker. But you telling me, oh yeah, no, she already doing XYZ about you behind your back. Okay, that's a little different.
Wait, bring up Nikki's comment real quick.
Now Nikki been spinning.
Real friends can talk to each other and allow each other space to feel and forgive. Absolutely, I definitely agree. And I mean, dependent on the issue, because I mean, I never tell people how to feel about something I did, and I never ask for forgiveness because I know I'm not a forgiving person. But if the incident is to the point where a person doesn't want to forgive me, I don't have any issue with that because you have a right to feel the way you feel. But also, loyalty means a lot for me. I mean, Scooty, you saw it firsthand. Remember, I wish I could be cool with you, but Scooty, that's my
dog. Hey, look,
I didn't even tell you that story. You heard that story from said individual.
Yeah. Because and that's how like my circle to be, because that's how I am. I've never understood the fence, right? Like, oh, well, we're all friends and I don't want to get in between something. No, sometimes you got to pick with certain situations. You got to pick something.
Yeah.
Because we all grown. You can't tell everybody who to be friends with. I can absolutely tell my friends who to be friends with. You can't control people do. I absolutely can, and I will. Or you get up on my face with this.
I actually had a conversation with somebody about this recently because I like just being out here. You don't meet too many like cool black people. Most of the crowds that I hang around in are really mixed, but like one of my friends was dating this guy, and I mean, like the real ones, when y'all come around each other, y'all naturally like, oh shit, y'all connect on certain things.
Yeah.
So we were hanging out and he was like, yo, I want to come back down there to hang out with y'all again. We hung out again. Shorty said, listen, I don't want him around because I'm not really rocking with him like that right now. So I'd appreciate it if he hits you up to like come down or invite you out because he in the neighborhood. I appreciate it if you don't do it. And I had no choice to respect it because I met him through her, but also that's my friend. He's just cool.
Right.
But this was a good conversation, Scooty. I appreciate you coming through tonight. Wait, did you get that paperwork yet?
I had that paperwork 3 months ago. 2 months ago?
No, the official 214.
Yeah, I got that months ago.
Oh shit! Congratulations.
Yeah. It's already cleared. The last official day is the 28th, but I've been at the paperwork. I've been at that official, those official 2 copies.
I just want to say I appreciate your service and shout out to that. Thank you for coming through. Any last words for the good people?
If you appreciate my service, buy me some drinks. Support your local black business and your local vet. You feel me?
Love you. Talk to you later.
All right, love you later.
All right, producer, let's jump into that spotlight. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a new year. I want to thank y'all once again for tuning in to the Ant Money Experience. I just want to reiterate, listen, if you want to be a co-host, don't worry about it. You can hit me up. I will send you the link and let you know my topic so I don't blindside you, but definitely want to bring more people on this year. My day ones is still going to be around co-hosting, but you can come through and be my second co-host. It is not a problem. This has been a dope show. Thank y'all for coming through. It was not a lot going on, so I was like, nah, I got to give the people what they want. So, in closing, I want to thank y'all for coming through tonight. I enjoyed everybody's. You, Scooty, you definitely can get dibs. I want to thank y'all for coming through tonight. I always appreciate y'all coming through. Like I love to say at the end of every episode, live every day like it's your last, but be prepared for tomorrow. God bless and good night.